In cases where an arbitral award is enforced in a state despite being set aside by the court of the seat, do you think that this contradicts the parties' initial agreement and their choice of the seat?
That's a very nuanced and sophisticated question.
You are here today to answer all the hard and sophisticated questions.
This one is a very thoughtful question. We all know the basic proposition under the New York Convention and otherwise. That proposition is that an award must, in principle, be recognized outside of the arbitral seat in other countries that have acceded to the New York Convention. And so just to take an example, if an award is made in state A, it's subject to recognition in states B, C, D, E, and F all around the world under Articles 3 and 4 of the New York Convention, subject only to the exceptions in Article 5 of the New York Convention. One of those exceptions in Article 5 is where an award has been annulled in the arbitral seat. That would, in my example, be state A. And the question has arisen in many cases. Suppose that the courts in state A set aside the arbitral award. Can it nonetheless be recognized and enforced under the New York Convention in states B, C, D, E, and F? And most courts have said in principle, yes, on the following theory. The New York Convention in Article 5 sets forth grounds on which a court in a contracting state may, but need not mandatorily, deny recognition of an award made in another contracting state. So what that means, put simply, is if an award is annulled in state A and taken to state B for recognition, state B has an obligation to recognize that award, but is permitted, because of the exception in Article 5.1e for awards that have been annulled in the arbitral seat, to deny recognition. It is relieved of its obligation to recognize the award, but importantly, is not subject to an obligation to deny recognition of the award. It is left free to decide whether or not to recognize the award. And courts in a number of jurisdictions have concluded in those circumstances that they will, in fact, recognize an arbitral award that has been annulled, in particular in cases where they have doubts about the fairness of the annulment proceeding in the arbitral seat,